Hey guys, tightrope here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We're on road to Tunis. And today spawning on the right is DexN with Wehrmacht, who's gone for terror battle group, straight away locked into camouflage machine guns. Gone for a kitten and a machine gun. On the left hand side is Tonimantana with Brits, who's gone for Australian defense. Gone for straight double Aussies, no second engineer early on. In terms of rankings, Tonimantana I think 12, DexN 25, so pretty high rank both these two. So yeah, my Brit Australian build a little bit different. Go for an extra engineer in 3 Aussies. He's just going straight into the Aussies. Oh, the engineer. Oh. Extra engineer gets you maybe off to a slightly stronger start, gives you more mine planting opportunities, more repairs later on for light vehicles. Here we go. Ooh, only got like a fraction of a burst on there, not enough to suppress the squad. Unlucky there for DexN. Just trying to use the long range vision mode on that. Give his machine gun some opportunities to fire. This one creeping along the cover here. Gonna open up on the garrison. See, Tonimantana was thinking maybe coming down onto the fuel, but wrapping around. Maybe hoping to polish this off. And in range, MG has to pull back a little bit here. Quite a lot of damage onto this as well. Quite annoying to repair that early on. It's just straight up 3 machine guns here for DexN. Doesn't have any spotter units for this machine gun though, so getting caught. Tonimantana applying a lot of pressure. Those Aussies, they are so powerful in these early game engagements. That'll be one of the best early game squads. Probably the best, right? Capping power, raw firepower. They are damn good. So this is not going too well for DexN. Oh, just about ran into a mine. It wasn't completed construction. DexN a little bit slow to react. Gets out of there in time though. Gonna have to repair that up again, however. In the meantime, he is suffering. Kind of needs the Pio and the kitten for vision to help spot for these machine guns at the moment. He does eventually force away the Aussie on the far side here though. But the map control is so much better for Tonimantana. DexN just going with overlapping machine guns, just raw firepower to try to force these Aussies off his cutoff. It's a 4 Australian start here. Overall, it's been like a little bit low in casualties. Sometimes at this stage when you're playing Aussies, you feel like you desperately need healing. Otherwise you're going to start bleeding a lot of manpower. And he does have a couple low health squads. Might cause a problem for him, but by the same token, if you want healing, you can't really afford to go for it because they don't have snares, so if your opponent rushes a light vehicle, you're in major trouble. I think DexN's got to be careful about trying to cap over there now because that engineer's been over here, doesn't know what's been popping off. MG able to suppress here, then retreating. Seeing out the sweep here just to check. That's good play from DexN. This is always a good option as well, like, you know, you've got units pushing out on one side. They can kind of push, lead the charge. The kitten can do some back capping. Doesn't always have to be used adventurously. I was forced away on this side. You could still be worried about a mine like over here or one over here, so still a little bit risky for the kitten. Push onto that side. He's using it for vision on the machine gun. Gets that. I'm gonna go for a cap. We are hitting about the 6-minute mark here. Just the timing when maybe a Humber could be arriving. Don't know if DexN would have a read if he's up against 4 Aussies or not yet. Might have a suspicion at least. And that means like manpower wise, maybe the Humber would still be a little bit off. Ooh, sharpshooter used.
Do not let it fall into enemy hands.
Jaeger's coming across, but it looks like the Aussies are going to be able to steal this. MG covering up to cover, but it's too late. Tonimantana's going to get away with that, and he's got a Stewart in the build now as well. Tough start here for DexN. But he did a nice move over here, brought his machine gun all the way up, expecting a counterattack onto this point. Completely shuts that down. So,
pioneers are dead.
What? Misclick from DexN. Maybe he's trying to snip the wire or something, open up the garrison. I don't know what happened there. Oh, getting in some trouble. Oh, he nearly lost it. He's gonna try to get the decap off though. Might regret it though because the Stewart's about to pop out. Maybe he can get away fast enough. Camouflage. Find himself a little bit of time. Shrek missing. Getting dead. It was a greedy play. He pays the price for it. Second trick does connect. Third big old miss. Does go for the 2-2-1 DexN. He had the opportunity to cancel it if he wanted to. Imagine it's going to be upgraded to the Panzerbuchs. I'm not entirely sure though. Using it for his machine gun right now. Trying to shut down any flank attempts. And DexN's got a really strong hold down this side of the map. Tonimantana. There's so many low health squads. This is often the problem with Australians at around this kind of timing. You've rushed out your light vehicle, but you don't have healing yet. And it is very expensive in terms of manpower. DexN exploiting that here. This is where, like, kind of, you know, oftentimes when you play these Aussie builds against DAC, you're kind of forced into a dingo, and that can kind of make up for some of the shortfall in healing. Here comes Stewart. Shrieks miss again, though. Got the engineers there for repairs. I think this has got the auto repair as well. For the survival package, the smoke and the auto repair. See some of the unlocks, 2-pounder. So a big question is here for Tonimantana. Is he going to go for light vehicle training? Guys be familiar with my build maybe of the Australians, light vehicle training. I feel like the extra rate of fire it gives to the Stewart is actually like really nice. Makes the Stewart kind of underwhelming against infantry to actually respectable. And then scales quite well if you want to go into bishops thereafter. Maybe, you know, want some bishops to counter all these machine guns. That is kind of revolving around stalling up for the archer though. Not ticking. Both players though have had a pretty strong hold on their fuels. Maybe DexN getting slightly better of it. Like he did lose his cutoff there for a while in the early game, but he was camped up here for a long time. And yeah, didn't upgrade the 2-2-1 with the Panzerbuch, so just using it for anti-infantry. Of course, Australians know snares, so they are powerless against it. They can drive right on top of them and do some massive damage. Speaking of massive damage, the Australians forcing away that Jaeger. This one jumps into the building. 221 comes out to the edge. Stuart's heading out that way now. Doesn't have the radio upgrade yet, DexN. I feel like, you know, if you're going to commit to not upgrading it, get the radio because it's so handy. Maybe he wants to keep the door open for some AT capabilities on this. Not as good as it used to be though, you know, now that's got that blinding shot. More slow on that phosphorus shell it does. It's not as good. In the AT roll. Yeah, getting quite a lot of auto repair value. Tonimantana just saw infantry training come online for him. So his Australians are really going to bully the Jaegers, especially the Shrek ones. Tread shot here for the 221 kill. Stuart missing some shots there. Allows the 221 to escape. Maybe a little bit over cautious, Tonimantana. Probably could have gone for more of a chase there. Maybe he's worried about running into a martyr or something. But Stuart's pretty fast. And he's got smoke. Shreks is so bad at attack ground. He's got enough munitions for smoke as well. I think he probably could have got the 221 kill there. Upgraded scope rifles over here. It's a good option, you know, if you're fighting from a garrison. A cover versus cover fight. The scope rifles are going to come in handy. Tonimantana making a slightly unusual call here, going for a second Stuart. Still doesn't have light vehicle training, does have over repair though. So it's gone down that side of the tree first. It's going to beef these Stuarts up, make them scale a bit better. We are arriving at the time when DexN could be pushing out, or probably like 2 minutes ago, he could have pushed out a Werbel maybe. But you can see DexN is going for Panzer Company. No Werbels.
A machine gun has been destroyed.
Stuart chasing down and killing the machine gun here. Now looking to polish off the weapon.
You have 5 command points available to you.
Sweetberg on a spot DexN's mine, going up and sweep that off. Second Stuart rolling up. Going for the survival package on that one as well is interesting. I thought maybe you would put the commander on this one. Maybe use it for vision for the archer later on. But as I said, the survival package is very good against Shreks because they are so bad at attack ground. Their scatter profile is rubbish, as they always miss off to the side when using attack ground. A good volley of shots there from DexN. Neither of these Stuarts have had over repair enabled on them yet. And this is maybe, again, where having only one engineer becomes a bit of an issue. But Tonimantana, as you can see, he's got a way bigger army, and he can always trade in these Stuarts if he techs up. So, as long as he doesn't lose them, that's the Brit advantage. It doesn't really matter too much in building a second one here. He's just trying to dominate the map right now. Deal with consequences later on. Got a P4 about to pop out here for DexN as we approach the 15-minute mark. Australians with the scope rifles are really starting to lump up his Jaegers. There's some ugly engagements for DexN, and he didn't go for a mid bunker either. He went for base healing, which, you know, is very efficient in terms of upfront costs, but, you know, playing a long game where you're going to be bleeding a lot of Jaeger models to the Australians, it's going to be less effective in a longer match like that. But here comes the P4. Don't think it got a clean hit on the Stuart there. Misses the second shot, might be staying in range. Stuart doesn't even back away, he's just given up on it. Another Stuart coming from the side. The P4 misses again? Oh, that's a sad situation for DexN. Now he's got the Stuart on his rear armor, just blasting the rear of this P4. Over repair, soaking the damage. Has to give up the attack though with the Shreks coming in.
Territory lost.
That's where the Stuart also maybe has an advantage post the rear armor changes. It can like dive behind a P4, take rear arm hits, take no bonus damage where the P4 is taking bonus damage. And when you got the extra health of over repair to leverage on top of that, you're like, yeah, Stuart came out very well from the rear armor hit changes. Bonus damage from rear armor hits. Unlucky for DexN though, probably should have killed that first Stuart. You can see the Stuart maybe made a slight mistake, like came off the road, started backing in this direction, lost the speed bonus on the road. That's how the P4 is able to keep pace with it. So I think the P4 is like maybe about 5.5 speed. The Stuart's about 6.5, so Stuart is a decent amount faster. But it couldn't get away from the P4 because it came off the road. The double Stuarts, and they're both over repaired now. Tread shotting the 221. Stuart's not getting clean hits though. 221 gets away. A little bit of a lucky situation there for DexN. I really do think he should upgrade this with the radar though. If he's not going Panzerbuchse, I think at this stage it's pretty obvious he isn't. He should put the radar on this. He's got plenty of munitions for it. Also hasn't like locked in anything else from his battle group. No interrogate, which is a good early option for Terror. Maybe could help climb some veterancy on these Jaegers, which is going to be handy when fighting against these Aussies with the infantry training bonus experience. Okay, and he's withdrawn both of the Stuarts now. He's going for a Matilda. Even with just 2 machine guns though, DexN's still doing a pretty good job holding on. Against a lot of Aussies. Not all of them are scoped up yet though, so they don't all have the bonus vision. Or are they just hidden because they're on retreat? They might just be hidden. Let's see. No. Sweepers. Very active for Tonimantana. He has picked up a second sapper. And he's cleared off a few of DexN's mines down that side of the map. Oh, and there we go. 2-pounder AT gun combining up with the Matilda. The 221 is dead. Another loss for DexN. So far DexN's lost 2 machine guns, Kessen, and a 221, but he's still in this match. Shreks giving some big hits here.
They still have 250 points left. We must persevere.
I think they will survive one more Shrek shot. P4 is occupied. He doesn't want to risk getting wiped. It's pretty safe. P4 is making a move. 2 pounds there with the Vet 1 straight away.
Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
P4 has to respect it. Second P4 though, DexN. He's moving in, making some plays. He doesn't have to worry about snares. Probably wouldn't expect too many mines down at this stage for Tonimantana either. Again, he's only had 1 engineer basically the entire match. So DexN's thrusting forwards. Decruiser machine gun going for the 2-pounder next. And Tonimantana's in some major trouble here. Somehow a rear arm hit from the front. P4's turning up the bleed here. Could probably get a kill on the mid tent. He's going to go for the 2-pounder first. Tonimantana really hurting. Pushed out another AT gun, another 2-pounder. It's got the instant call-in time on that. Does he want to reclaim this machine gun? I think it might... Yeah, he's going to kill it off. I was going to say, probably in range of the machine gun would be hard to crew it. He's got Jaeger Shreks, so they don't have the smoke to help cover the machine guns up either, so kills it and then backs away. Really good push from DexN though. He's got a lot of manpower after this as well. Needs to start spending. Maybe another Jaeger, maybe another Pio. Lots of options. He does not have any like veteran training either. Could be a decent time to go for armored skirts too on the P4s. He's got 2 of them up. He's building a resource cache somewhere. On his fuel, okay, on the corner. He's gone straight into the King Tiger down that side of the tree. As I said, it's a little bit strange though. He could have gone down the left side of the tree, got interrogated or something, because it's not like he's going to be getting the King Tiger anytime soon. Doesn't have the resources. Maybe could have gone for 2 more options down the other side of the tree. His own mine exploding on his P4 there. It's backing away, building extremely low. Next shot. Just about flattened it. So he's getting out of there though. This is still a very weak army for Tonimantana. Up against 2 P4s, he does not have very good answers. The Matilda will struggle with the 2-pounder without the Vet 1. Good luck. Game is on a knife's edge right now, but the problem is the DexN hasn't fully utilized his resources. Now he's waiting for some repairs on this guy. He doesn't have like that many units that could be like coming down here doing a bunch of capping. Really turning up the VP drain. Denying the resources to Tony. Tony's going for a second Matilda, I think that is. Cancelled it. Speaking of resource cache, he's gone for a second one over up here, soaking the damage here. Forcing the Shreks away. Got machine guns though down the far side. P4s are healthy again. Second fuel cache. So it looks like DexN really wants to get the King Tiger out. The problem with that is he knows he's Australians. He knows that the Archer's a possibility. And there we go. Tonimantana got the command points together for an Archer. And it's on the field now. And oh boy, that's a wake-up call for these P4s. And the Archer did get buffed a couple patches ago, can fire on the move now. Doesn't have to stop to shoot, makes it much easier to use against things like the P4, which are a little bit more mobile. And yeah, DexN should probably have another Jaeger Shrek right now. But he does not. He's stalling up for the King Tiger. And the Archer, tailor-made to take it down. Could even see Tonimantana go for a second one. They're not actually that expensive, the Archers. And, you know, army size-wise, we're neck and neck again. DexN investing so much manpower into these 2 resource caches. Will it pay off for him? Good sweeping again for Tonimantana. Jaeger Shrek's out on the far side. Having a bait tank or something. It looks like Tonimantana's just going to roll straight through the middle of the map.
Enemy forces have claimed our territory.
Sapper's a little bit late getting out of there though. They go down to the P4. 2-pounder Vet 1 though, doing some major damage. Out on the back of this Tonimantana, looking for a bunch of map control. Oh, what's happening with this machine gun? Gets revealed, but a little bit too late. Jaegerstrix trying to creep their way out the back. Scope rifle Aussies do have a bit of bonus sight. I think they're just out of sight range there though. Close call. This cash definitely not paid itself off. Hasn't even lasted for 2 minutes, I would say, at this stage. Jaegerstrix are waiting out the back here. There is still this big building kind of blocking. DexN has a nice angle to attack from over here. Here comes a second archer though. DexN tries to stay hidden, waiting for his time. But I think he might have got revealed. Oh boy, the camouflage not working out too well there as he tried to inch forwards, getting hit with a whole bunch of shots, but DexN's making his move. King Tiger from one side, P-Force from the other. Double archers should be able to muscle up here. If the Vet 1 from the 2-pounder is available, that King Tiger's in trouble. P-Force going in. Switching on to prioritized vehicles now. Vet 1, oh, it's a mine back there. While the P-Force gone. King Tiger slowed. That Vet 1 from the 2-pounder is very powerful. Or especially against something like King Tiger, which has such strong armor. Guaranteed penetration. Killed the Matilda, but didn't kill either of the archers. And the Jaegerstrix are long gone. Had to retreat. King Tiger's out here in some trouble. Archers should be able to finish the job on him. He's got the 2-pounder providing vision. Archers with the range advantage. I think it's still 2 shots here for the King Tiger. Oh, no. 2-pounder finds the angle. Archer and 2-pounder securing the kill. Does kill the 2-pounder at least. He's chasing, looking for a wipe. They're not Vet 3 Aussies yet. But once they are Vet 3, they get that speed bonus. That's when they become the run and gun masters. Nearly getting the kill there. DexN's lucky with the escape. 2-pounder still up for grabs over here. DexN has been capping the rest of the map while this has all been happening, but that was a massive blow. Big mine over here. Shutting down one of the P4s. Didn't quite work out for DexN. I think maybe one of the problems as well, like, he's got a lot of command points, hasn't been using anything from his battle group. He's got a crazy amount of munitions. I'm sure he gained a lot of command points in that fight, but...
King Tiger is waiting deployment.
Maybe he doesn't have enough for a V1 yet. Can't remember the exact command points for it. V1 on the 2-pounder though would have been pretty good for him there. Looks like Tonimantana gonna stick with the 1 archer. Go back into the Matildas now. Need something to help front line for him. Just so they can, you know, charge in. Oh, what? Could get wiped here. Try and throw that grenade. I thought that was going to be the red phosphorus.
Lost control of a victory point.
Doesn't have any grenadiers to merge into these squads either for DexN, so that is going to tax his manpower as the game keeps going.
The enemy breaks
Oh, yeah, no greens for merge and no med bunker for casualty clearing.
We are down to 300 points.
One bounce there.
Where's our screening troops? Victory point lost. We need some more.
KD ratio is actually really even. Kind of interesting. You'd think that they'll probably favour DexN, right? Because he's probably had a few team weapon and pyro models die. Whereas Tonimantana's largely been Aussies. But here we go. First Vet 3 Aussie. That's when they get their speed buff. And that's when they become really hard to handle. Your squads like just don't even run away from them very quickly when you're retreating. So easy to get wipes.
Infantry firing on us!
Is that a Crusader or a Matilda? I find it so hard to tell the difference between the icons sometimes. It's Matilda.
They've seen us! Move!
See if there's any other trainings. Nope.
Strike fear into our enemy! Drive them from the field!
Okay, DexN's got a lot of fuel.
Enemy forces have
Stalling up
captured
for
an
another
victory point.
KT?
Sector lost.
He's unlocked the V1 now, though. No 2-pounder for it to target this time round. Could be a bit harder to find a V1 opportunity. Two Matildas closing in on the Jägerschrecks. This one maybe hoping to get a squad wipe even. Tries to throw a red phosphorus to cover the exit. Doesn't quite work. Got a squad wipe before the smoke landed. Drop this Shrek. Did Tonimantana not notice it? Maybe he doesn't want to run into it. He might be vision obstructed. There he goes now, though. He's coming in for the Shrek. DexN popping the V1, hoping to wipe this, but there we go. Smoke from Tonimantana to cover the retreat. Sapper gets out of there on a pixel. And now maybe the Stormtrooper could go down. Tilda's just charging forwards. Really good rate of fire. Consistent DPS there. And they're coming in for a bit of a base inspection. DexN trying to hang in there. He's just about there for another King Tiger, and he's a little bit more manpower. Uses one of his base MGs. His company's getting focused now. I mean, if he loses this, that is a problem. DexN's holding off on reinforcing because he really needs that King Tiger. Here it comes.
King Tiger deploying.
Tonimantana losing his nerve. Backing out. These tanks a little bit low. The Archer come up with that push. Well, he could have killed this off for sure, but it's always a worry that you're going to be getting set up for some kind of trap by your opponent when you're making a base push. Take some courage. But here comes King Tiger. We are only at one Archer right now. Tonimantana does have the option of withdrawing one of these Matildas and building, or calling in another Archer though, to help deal with this King Tiger. In that case, you probably want to get rid of the... Oh my goodness! The one that's lowest on veterancy and lowest on health. Since, yeah, it doesn't matter. You can withdraw at low health and it's gives you the same amount of resources back.
Keep calm, pioneers!
Tiger doing a good job hiding behind the building, getting some big shots from the side. This may be a situation where in the past the Jaegers could drop some smoke, help cover the capture, maybe keep the King Tiger safe from archer fire. Not an option anymore though. Tonimantana still quite far behind on the VPs though. And the sharpshooter shots keeping those Stormtrooper in check. Tough for Stoss against Aussies because they can just keep using that sharpshooter, dropping a model, making the Aussies, making the Stoss vulnerable. Pretty good counter to the Stoss. King Tiger, pretty good usage so far from DexN though, good hits. Doesn't take too much damage. Team weapon training coming on for Tonimantana. That's interesting. He's only got one team weapon. It's the AT gun. It's going to give it more health, and it might matter. It might allow it to survive another King Tiger shot from the front. Loads of munis for DexN though. Maybe you could. Is that the? I think that's the Jericho trumpet he's gone for there, right?
Commandant, territory sector lost.
Haven't seen any battle group abilities for DexN. Those camouflage machine guns, King Tiger. That's it.
Sector now under enemy control.
Inactivated. Another sharpshooter coming in. Aussie's getting the squad wipe here potentially. Might as well go for a running gun chase because that's already needs to just decap anyway. Because of the vetted squad that has the good chasing power as well. King Tiger's got himself in some trouble though, running into the Vet 1. He drops a V1 in the middle though. Seems like Tonimantana's cottoned on to the location of it, dodges it with ease. I suppose that's what it was for. The team weapon train try to get Vet 1 on this faster, right? That's the secret ingredient Tonimantana was looking for. Third pyro now for DexN. A lot of repairs required on that King Tiger. He's been still doing a pretty good job on the VPs. Gonna last for too long though. 4 Aussies, that's a lot of capping power. Just needs to send a Matilda out to the edge, just sweep everything away so he doesn't risk running into a camouflage machine gun. On DexN's side, you know, he's just got nothing to worry about. You would expect DexN had spent a lot on stalling up for the King Tiger, and the King Tiger's not a vehicle that really comes across to the side and just kills you a Matilda because your Matilda's too slow to get away from it. Like maybe a P4 might be able to if the Matilda got a bit low from AT guns or something. But it looks like Tonimantana's going to go for a Crusader to try and control the flanks. Use the double Matildas through the middle. Decent idea. It's never too bad of an idea as well when you're playing with Australians with the archers to just go for Stuart with the command vehicle. The sights through the middle of this map could be devastating to DexN. Just completely shut him down. Something you just gotta keep in mind when using the archer. Always a good option. Pushing forwards now, slamming the pyros. King Tiger push back into base. Good sweeping coming out on the sides as well. Oh, this is going to be a dead Stoss. Oh. Sapper's dead. I guess they got shot at while they were repairing. There go the Stoss. Drop the LMG. Can't pick it up. All 3 slots occupied by the scope rifles. But if they're not, you know, Aussies are a very good unit to put weapons on. They can pick up 3, can be very powerful.
Territory lost. The enemy has claimed our
Rumbling
sector.
out the sides. He's rebuilding one of his Jaeger Shreks.
We have lost control of a victory point.
His tilt is just going to town. Just landing every shot. Doing big damage to DexN. He's feeling desperate. He's coming through here. The Archer's a little bit out of position. Oh, another big squad wipe.
Forces have secured all victory points.
Speaking of squad wipes, so Pie's going down. The Vet 3 Aussies just taking them 3-on-1. Archer's now rotating. Just dominating the Pios in the 3-on-1. Archer's up here. Vet 3 on the Archer now.
We have territory cut off from
DexN, I
supply.
think this is some good driving from him. Oh, but he needs to stay with the momentum.
Increase security around the HQ. We are down to 100 points.
Oh, he just stopped there. If he just kept driving, I think he could have stayed in range for a kill shot on the Archer. I thought that's what he's going for. I thought he's going to try go back. Tony was pushing forwards to get vision, then he's going to come through with the momentum. Try to get the kill.
Reporting for duty. 75 points remaining for our forces. An MG-42 has been decrewed. Do not let it fall into enemy hands. Enemy infantry, return fire!
Feels like DexN's about to surrender here.
Jäger light infantry missing in action. Our Jäger infantry have fallen.
I think I might just pause before the game ends so we can stay on the map for a little bit. So yeah, it was, you know, a bit of a rocky start for DexN. He lost 3 units. Tonimantana didn't lose anything. In spite of that, though, DexN did very well on map control. Triple machine guns causing Tonimantana some headaches. But yeah, things turned around in a big way when DexN made that big all-in 2 P4s and the King Tiger. And it just went pear-shaped. Tonimantana had just enough to hang on. You know, that extra damage and snare from the mine back here seemed to make all the difference in that big engagement. And after that, DexN never really had an opportunity to come back into this one. DexN had, you know, maybe the opportunity to close out the game with those double P4s that are rolling around the map doing big damage. But instead of, you know, riding his momentum, trying to build more squads, he tried to build some resource caches and store up for the King Tiger. And maybe against like a lot of Brit battle groups, that would be a pretty good option. But against Australian defense with the Archers on hand, I don't think that was the right call. Archers just too good. Well, you know, it's not too good, but like it's well suited to counter the King Tiger. So even the King Tiger's, you know, good at coming through, wiping squads and stuff. They have a tailor-made counter to handle the King Tiger. Maybe just spamming P4s might have been more successful with armored skirts and Vet 1 training, along with the extra map presence from, you know, 2 extra squads instead of building 2 caches. But yeah, good job by Tonimantana, hanging tough there. G. Oh, what a good time I did to pause. I had a feeling. Well, anyway, guys, a wrap on that. If you like good game recast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.